Remember, I have a Patreon and Subscribe Star, and if you hit it up, you can get access to this month's exclusive video where I talk about the Shad Man. And of course, in addition to that, you get to see today's long paint of the speed paint. So go ahead and hit those links up if you want to see all that powerful goodness. And now on with the video. What's good, people? Eden Jules reporting for duty. What do you get when everything you say goes, and no one can ever tell you no? Well, you get White Diamond, of course. You see, prior to the Stevening, White Diamond was the god of the gem homeworld. No gem was above her, not even her fellow diamonds. In some ways, her unquestioned position of power could be seen as an end goal, something that other people want to achieve. One of those people happens to be, of course, my OC Velicia from my cartoon Schneeevil. She would love to have nothing more than to be in a situation where she rules all unquestioningly. Because you have to ask yourself, if you have everything you ever wanted, is it truly worth it? Well, let us go ahead and buckle into our favorite planet that has been fissured in some way, shape, or form. Let us T-pose to assert dominance and shoot our blinding white light from our eyeballs onto our other subjects in order to mind control them. Let us then use our mind control subjects to smash the like button. And let's talk about White Diamond. So, of course, the first thing I always do in these videos is talk about the speed paint. So, in this iteration of my series of Velicia cosplays, Velicia is cosplaying White Diamond from Steven Universe. And of course, in this particular instance, she's doing the T-pose to assert dominance, and she's doing the blinding white Care Bear stare that White Diamond does when she mind controls her gem subjects. And so I always thought, like, when she does that, can she see through her own blinding white light when she's doing that? I would imagine yes, because it's generated from her body. And even if she couldn't see through it, she's probably so used to it that it doesn't bother her. But in Velicia's case, she is absolutely not used to projecting blinding white light from her eyeballs. And so it's kind of a it's kind of a bit of a struggle for her. So there's that. In the original run of Steven Universe, so this is discounting Steven Universe Future, White Diamond is the final boss, right? She's the end goal. She is the pinnacle of the conflict that Steven and the Crystal Gems need to vanquish. You know, first it started with corrupted gems on Earth. Then it evolved into homeworld gem invasions, you know, what with Peridot and Jasper. And then it started to escalate from there, from diamonds showing up, being, you know, yellow and blue diamond. And then finally, it culminated to having to face White Diamond herself. So White Diamond represents one of the themes I talk about a lot in Velicia cosplaying. She's kind of two themes, but in reality it is the latter theme. And what is that theme I keep talking about? Well, she is the slip of the mask, the breaking of the facade. You see, when she's first presented, she is the force of nature. And I've talked about the force of nature before in other Velicia cosplay videos, namely the one with the Butt Witch and the one with Wuya, in which I describe the force of nature as this seemingly insurmountable and completely perfect and infallible antagonistic force that is so beyond the protagonist that when written well, it's a nail biter. You think, oh, is our hero going to be able to vanquish this seemingly impossible odd? And so you sit at the edge of your seat to find out. And so at first, White Diamond is presented like that. The first time we ever see White Diamond is in her throne room, where Steven is thrown to her giant feet, where he just sees these two white pillars that is her heels, leading up to this massive creature that just glows with blinding white light to the point where you can't even distinguish between her head and the background, and all you see are these black voids that is her, you know, perfectly done luscious lips and these, you know, stunning model, you know, magazine cover model style eyelashes. And she seems so very calm and motherly, so alien, so distant from all the other everything that Steven has faced up to this point. She is a god. She is the god of the gems. She is above everyone, including the other diamonds. So of course we're sitting there, you know, watching, going like, wow, how is Steven going to stop this living embodiment of star energy, basically? But of course, as we know, watching through Steven Universe, eventually White Diamond's facade does slip, and we see that her perfection, her obsession. You know, see, I'm going into obsession from last episode of Velicia Cosplays. Go ahead and check it out in the link below. Anyway, her obsession with perfection is her flaw. And so when White Diamond is forced to contend with being told no, right? Being denied, because she is thoroughly convinced that Steven is not Steven, but rather Pink Diamond in a weird form. And so when she is shown that that is not the case, that Pink Diamond is truly gone and has become a new entity, a completely different person, that being Steven, it breaks her reality. It breaks White Diamond's idea of having everything. She does not have everything, you know, and now because she has been faced with this, it's very clear that White Diamond is someone who has never, ever had to deal with any kind of meaningful resistance to her authority.
I've always been me.
No! You are Pink Diamond! That is Pink Diamond's gem! You do not look like this. You do not sound like this. You are not half human. You're just acting like a child!
And so once that finally happens, you see that White Diamond's perfect facade breaks. The mask slips. This is something I've talked about in other episodes, where I mentioned that, you know, you can have these villainesses who portray this facade, and the facade slips, or you get to kind of see behind it, and it's like not all what we see. And so in this case, White Diamond represents that, the slipping of the mask. So how does all of this tie to Velicia? I've said before in other videos, specifically in the Wuya video, I've said that Wuya is what Velicia wants to be. Now, in the same way, White Diamond is someone that Velicia wants to be. However, White Diamond is two things. Like I said, she is the force of nature and the slipping of the mask. So White Diamond is actually what I would consider Velicia's greatest fear. White Diamond is someone who had it all and lost it. She had her perfect veneer of infallibility, of absolute power, of being God, and it disappeared because she was faced with something that her reality couldn't handle. And so she fell apart. You know, she is no longer this perfect blinding white light. She blushed pink. She started turning colors. Her emotions started showing. Her perfectly constructed, facade of being infallible completely crumbled away. And I've mentioned before that there are other characters who portray themselves as like big bad, girl bosses, right? Being like Yzma and Rita Repulsa, but you get to see behind the screen, so to speak, or behind the scenes, where they're actually fallible and they have their own emotional flaws. But in those cases, those were done in humor. In White Diamond's case, there's nothing funny about it, and so White Diamond really is Velicia's greatest fear, because Velicia doesn't want to be funny. Okay, Schneeevil the cartoon is funny, and I'm making it humorous, and I want Velicia to be humorous, but make no mistake, Velicia is no comedian, okay? She hates it when she's laughed at. It is the worst thing that could possibly happen to her, because it is everything that she has worked for falling flat on its face in front of her. It is her world crumbling around her. It is her realizing that she is not the beautiful, blinding white goddess of everything that she surveys. It is the crushing reality that she's not perfect. And the embarrassment and the shame of having that being exposed for all to see, that is horrifying to Velicia. And so White Diamond, despite her being probably, out of all the villainesses, out of all the characters really that Velicia has cosplayed up to this point, she's probably the most powerful. Definitely more powerful than even the other witch characters like Rita Repulsa and Wuya. She is, this greatest being brought so low. And if that can happen to a god, it can most definitely happen to little Velicia. So with all that, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up there for today. So you people know what to do. If you like what you see and you want to see more, go ahead and tickle those sacred buttons. Definitely give me a comment and share the video. I definitely want to hear what you have to say. And I definitely want you to show people that you watch good content by spreading it far and wide. And of course, this is the reminder that I do have Patreon and Subscribe Star if you want to see this month's exclusive video. And of course, if you want to see the long paint version of today's speed paints, and of course, every speed paint that I make from now on. And if you do wish to stalk me elsewhere on the interbuts, you can always find my links here up on on the screen. And of course, I always make the special emphasis on minds.com because it is the alternative website that I like to use. And so yeah, with all that said, I thank you for spending this time with me. I do hope you all stick around. And until next time, deuces.